cat in the box.
2, 1, let's go. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Mix It Up podcast. I am Mike. That is not Nick. Nick is out sick, man. Nick apparently got the coronavirus. We wish him well. Obviously, he'll get over the sniffles. He'll be back next week. But I was going to do the podcast by myself, but you know what? Then I reached out to two of my boys. The first one, you know him from the BBO NYG podcast, my co-host, Jules. Jules is on here. He is representing, coming back from the mix. He's been on the Mix It Up a few times. You know who he is. And then we got another guy that's been on the Mix It Up podcast a couple of times, was Malarsic. Malarsic is back. So, guys, thank you. Appreciate you guys coming on. We'll talk some shit. Guys, like, what's going on, man? Thanks for coming on. Appreciate you.
Always. You know, when I come on and Mix It Up, I always got to come in disguise to start it up, you know? You should have just been like, who is this man wearing the New Year's Eve glasses, you know?
If you're watching on YouTube, tune in, man, just to see Jules. He's still celebrating New Year's Eve. A beastie boy.
You look like a beastie boy.
He does.
But that's cool. Hey, man, you're living in Brooklyn now, so you got to do it. You got to represent.
No sleep till Brooklyn.
Yeah. I got to add that in post. All right, guys. So thanks for coming on, but I just want to go through the list of topics we're going to discuss tonight. So the first one is the origin of New Year's Eve and, you know, how you guys' New Year's Eve was. Do you have any resolutions? The next one is mass psychosis. We'll get into what that is going on in this world. Coronavirus 229E. Big farm commercials, the Netherlands pushing 6 vaccine, and the Giselle Maxwell trial, and then whatever any bullshit that comes to mind. But Jules, what other topic do you want to discuss first?
Oh, listen, man, I definitely want to jump off for New Year's Eve. I'm still wearing my outfit from that night.
Obviously.
Right. Yeah.
4 days later.
Before they popped on. Yeah, you know, 4 days later, it's still going. It's still New Year's. We're kicking off the first podcast on the Mix It Up. This is the opening one. Happy New Year out there to all the listeners. But no, seriously, like, yep. I kind of like had no plans. Was just hanging out, and it just turned into going to one of the bars locally in Brooklyn, of course. And, you know, partying in the New Year a little bit, man. It was fun, you know. And, you know, I wanted to bring it up because most people would never guess, right? Because I'm just going to kind of open up a quick question to you two and basically ask you, say, you know, when would you think the origins of like a New Year's resolution occurred? Like how far back in the history would you go? Okay, I'm gonna put that out to Malarsic first. I'm gonna let you think about that for a minute there, Mike Trainer.
Wow.
Yeah. Why are you doing smart shit like that?
Makes you think,
because
right?
I got these crazy ass glasses on. It makes me smarter.
We gotta get Vinny on here. He's the history teacher now.
Vinny's a friend of the podcast.
Yeah, I'll talk about that later. I don't know when it's probably like maybe
Can't be that long ago.
50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, like that time. Like I think
so. You're saying
that's a pretty wide range. You say like 100 years.
I'll take it even on the longer end of things here. You're saying like in the last 100 years is when New Year's resolutions and the whole concept of a New Year's resolution has come.
I think 70s and up, like it started.
So 70, like 40, 50 years ago, right? We're gonna stick with that guess. Yeah. All right.
Wow.
I don't remember my grandparents talking about stuff like that.
I'm gonna go with probably the 80s, 1980s.
Okay. We're New Year's resolutions now, right?
Yeah.
Let's not forget Dick Clark was dropping the ball, I think, in the 60s here, folks.
Shit. We're way off.
All right. American Bandstand was in the 70s, guys. Let's give like some better guesses here.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm not saying the last, like the first one you remember. We're talking about like ancient times, even possibly.
I'm sure a lot of our listeners would be like, the fucking 1900s or something. They probably don't know either. So what is the correct answer, Jules? Tell us.
So the correct answer and the specified origin of New Year's resolutions and the celebrating of the new coming year dates back to the Babylonians 4,000 years ago. And that literally was a spring celebration to welcome in a new year because, again, obviously in ancient times, you know, there was a whole scare of the winter and then having to reharvest and grow crops and do all that kind of shit for survival purposes. So literally dating back to then, they were turning into a spring celebration. So obviously our timeline might be slightly, changed through the centuries and thousands of years. But it was them that was also same as saying it. So not only did they create beer, but now we know that they were doing New Year's resolutions where it was basically based on what ours is today, which is only about maybe somewhere into the 19th century or 200 plus years ago, of where you basically want to correct something that you feel needs to be a better change and a better version of you, was literally going on about 4,000 years ago. So kind of cool. I thought I'd share that. And, I have these glasses on. They make me smarter when I have them on. So that was the whole kind of thing going on there.
So caveman was pretty much like, I gotta fucking lose some hair. I gotta fucking shave. I gotta be less hairy. That was probably their resolutions back then. Oh, that goes back a long time. What do you think, Balazic?
He was like, listen, I grew those crops for the beer. I could have fucking grew them better.
Honestly, I just love how Google has made my friends smarter. Because they never learned this shit in school.
You were getting close about Google. It's more YouTube. Love that
whatever,
shit. Right? And by the way, we're on YouTube.
Right. Like and
gotta
subscribe.
Google YouTube.
You go down the rabbit hole sometimes.
Oh my God.
Like,
listen, there's times I want to watch shows and I'll go down the rabbit hole on YouTube.
Oh.
All right.
I love it.
I'm gonna
like people
now that we're back
up
to the new reality,
like,
I'm gonna bring myself into this new picture here. 2022, baby.
Like
2022.
And Jules is back. What are you saying, Balazic?
I feel like Snapple started all Google and stuff. Remember when they used to have those questions of smartness on the Snapple bottles?
Underneath the cap?
Yeah, some idiot probably sat there, which made millions or billions, and said, oh shit, we should start a Google or YouTube site, And then Jules and everyone else that we know, it's amazing what people spit out now. You're like, wow, you didn't even go to high school and you know stuff now.
that is so true.
I'm not saying anybody here, but you know who we're talking about.
No, but listen, if you don't know, if you're a dumb idiot, like if you just have to Google something to figure something out. You can do anything with Google.
That's it.
True.
Fucking crazy, man. I didn't have. I wish we had this shit when we were like fucking kids.
So many kids.
For real.
So many kids we grew up with that like
dumb.
didn't have a high school diploma.
Total
the
dumb.
Stuff that they're spitting out now.
Right. They just
never
think about
it
now.
There would be a good deal of our friends that would be sitting in class, have their phone underneath the desk, underneath the book. And if like the teacher just kind of like maybe said something that might be somewhat incorrect or has been updated through the years as far as historians are concerned, they'd raise their hand and bring up that argumentative point to it and just be those assholes in class like, wait a minute, technically.
Look at this nerd.
I think
it might have been 4,000 years ago.
I think for the world, like the internet and like stuff has made, like it was made for like the people to be smarter. For our friends, they use the internet to be bigger dicks. Like
exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly, dude. Like,
that's all they use it for.
Our generation, had we had Google like say 35 years ago and we grew up into it,
That would have been
fantastic.
fantastic.
Like, oh, that's not an answer. You know what I learned? You couldn't learn anything back in the day, but now you know this stuff. Like,
I could build patio.
It was nice to hear you write it. Like, it was nice. People are listening. Like, yo, Jules knows about the Babylons. He didn't know what shit was until Google.
And they say it's them or the Egyptians wanted them to invent the beer. I've known that before Google. All right.
That is fantastic, man. But all right, getting off like that topic, but kind of staying with the topic. I want to hear you guys New Year's resolutions. Oh no! All right, so if you're watching on YouTube, Malarsa just put on this ugly ass Washington hat that looks like it looks like made of corduroy or some shit. It looks weird.
It almost looks like it's like a pole hat that's made into like a football hat, but it's a helmet, or maybe it's just because it doesn't fit him anymore. And it's like kind of making his head look bigger.
We're always gonna be this, no matter what they say to us.
You're supposed to put like tape in front of the last part of that word that's on your.
It's supposed to be a helmet. My nephew got it.
You gotta get what you gotta get white out. So, Malarsa, you got to explain to the listeners what you're doing right now. You have a Redskin helmet on that's like made out of like fucking, like, I don't know, some kind of like carpet or some shit.
It's furry.
It's furry.
As hell.
but he has the Redskins label on the front. And Jules said you gotta duct tape over the red on there. That's racist.
Oh, that might be offensive to certain people nowadays. You know
No,
what I mean?
it's
Not only that,
red.
but you know what? In his defense and his excuse, it also looks like a helmet for a crash stunt dummy. And like they put the helmet on the crash stunt dummies that they used to have in the car commercials, like kind of looks like that too a little bit.
Go run into the
Great for
wall,
Sunday
Velocity.
drinking.
Go run go run into the wall. Get like a 10 feet start.
Honestly, my resolution, I don't even know what a resolution thing, but I would want to come home, some chick wearing a Redskin jersey and just this hat on.
I'm not quite sure that would actually qualify as a resolution. I think that's more of a fantasy.
Right. That's a fantasy.
Is it?
There's a slight difference between the two here.
I mean, you could.
As
I like
I
to be
mentioned
partial
before,
50-50.
things that you want to improve upon in the new year about yourself personally.
I thought that's kind of what it is. It's like something that you like, you don't want to prove on.
You're playing a
Like,
deadly
I would
game.
do it for, but look at it this way: 50-50 relation for all you ladies out there. 50. If you came home one day and I'm sitting by the fireplace with just this on, and I really close to block my love shack,
You can.
that's what it is. You know what I mean?
Listen, Velocity, you could literally pay a woman to wear that fucking Redskin hat on January 1st. So that could be done.
I
Your
don't wanna
resolution
pay her.
could be
I
done
want
in
her
2
to
seconds.
do it.
You know what?
It
I
feels-
think, Mike. I think Trader. I think we're forming a New Year's resolution for Mike over here. I think it's just sort of kind of be like your year-end goal should be to try to get the hottest chick that you could to wear that actual helmet just for you, and actually maybe even come on the show and like do a quick appearance and like be seen on YouTube wearing that hat in presence with you. I think that's it. You got about like what? I don't know. We'll give you like another 362 days or so, 361 days
Could
to
happen.
accomplish that feat. There
Yep.
it is.
I mean, I probably could get her to wear the hat and maybe the shirt, but then to ask her to come on half naked with this hat on, I don't know. about that.
This is your New Year resolution. If you're gonna make it happen, you're gonna make it happen, right?
You know, that's a little bit asking too much.
That's
You know,
great.
you gotta work
happen.
that.
Your
that's
New
in,
Year's
like,
wishes
year-
will come true.
That's
Sure.
in like year 3 of the relationship. Like,
Year 3, man. That's the first fucking 3 weeks. Jules, what?
That's
What?
it. Yeah, right. You ain't getting that to happen after 3 years. That either happens immediately
True.
or it'll never happen. Like, let's be
sure,
real.
she get comfortable with me. She's like, I'm not
that
putting
shit-
anything on.
That shit goes. That shit goes in the garbage after like fucking 6 months. Jules, what resolutions do you have, or do you have any for New Year's Eve? Do you even think of any?
You know what? I actually thought about it for a little bit because I usually don't do it because it's like, you know, I feel like it's something that you want to try to look for. You search deep down inside. You're like, I'm going to find something. I'm going to do it this year, man. I'm going to stick to it. But I actually think I will. And this is something that I need to do because it's something that I feel I lack in general. It's consistency. Dude, I'm telling you straight up, I will go to the gym like a maniac for like 6 months, right? Like, especially around this time of the year, it's cold because I'll start getting fucking consistent. I'll start missing it. I'll be going like 4 or 5 days a week, making sure I'm hitting every body part, doing cardio. And then the weather starts getting nice. And then the summer hits. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, I don't even know where the gym is anymore. And it doesn't necessarily have to be the gym. But, you know, just overall in life with everything that I always say I want to do better, even if it's just where I skip the gym and I make sure I go out for like a 2-mile walk just to get like some exercise in. That's what my main thing is. I want to be more consistent because I feel like I get divulged into something for a long period of time or devoted into it, whichever. And literally I'll end up just kind of like, I don't know, just getting distracted or onto something else. So consistency, that's my main thing.
That's a good one, man. I think
even when promoting the BBONYG, which is just a little quick drop in there for you.
That's
I
right.
was all over that shit for at the beginning of the season.
Right.
I was on Facebook twice a week. I was on Twitter twice, and then that kind of fell off. So consistency
Yeah.
for 2022.
I did notice a drop off in that aspect from our trio we have going on the BBO NYG podcast, talking Giants football and all NFL really. Yeah, I would say like my resolution, it's always the same shit every year. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna fucking hit the gym hard. I'm gonna get jacked. I'm gonna get fucking ripped. I'm gonna fucking be fucking mad tight with this fucking diet. And then all of a sudden, like, you know, fucking week 3 of January, I'm like, yo, that chicken parm fucking looks good at fucking Gigi's. I'm like, I gotta go fucking hit that up.
It's
You know
hard.
what I mean?
It's hard.
Yeah, it's real hard, man. We got good food around New York, man. It's fucking. I wish I lived in like some kind of hick town like where there was nothing to eat, where you have to eat like fucking roadkill or some fucking shit, because then I'd be fucking ripped. There's just way too many fucking options. But that's my resolution. And to get back what we're talking about, like what we did for New Year's Eve, I was supposed to go to my friend's Amanda's house and her mom's house to have like a little party, but she caught the virus. Her mom caught the virus. So obviously that couldn't happen. So I want to ask Malarsic. Malarsic, we heard what Jules did with his glasses on New Year's. What did you do on New Year's Eve?
Me? I didn't do anything. I really didn't. I'm a good boy. I
was home. I stayed home. I didn't do shit.
He went digging in the attic for that hat.
I actually do this now. I celebrated the night before New Year's Eve. That was my New Year's Eve because I'm getting older.
What is that, mischief night?
I was out that night. Yeah, what was it? The Thursday. So I partied like a rock star that night.
He's like, yo, you have a party on New Year's Eve?
Well, I don't want to be out with the amateurs no more.
We got the topic.
I have to admit, like all the years of New Year's Eve, like we've had more fun on other holidays than I ever did on New Year's Eve. Like maybe a few of them when we went to Hunt 'em Out, like something like that. But like we had something planned. A lot of them, they sucked.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I definitely agree with you there.
We made stories out of it, but we didn't go to places where we're like, this is awesome. We just, I remember the last time we were in the city, didn't we take, like, we went down 10 of us and 10 different cars home? Like, dudes took a cab this one because everyone was like, yo, man. At some point in that night, everyone was like, I got to go home. I remember, like, being, like, 7 in the morning, and I was like, I walked out of the place that we were at, and I was like, I'm going in the cab. I told the cab, I was like, I think I handed him, like, 100. Get me the fuck home.
And of course, that was before Uber and Lyft and other kinds of app vehicle car services. So yes, you used to rely on these yellow things that would drive around in the city, and you'd flag them down, and they'd have the meters going.
Jules, tell your Uber story with that guy. Remember, he got all nervous. Your Queens Uber guy.
Wait, did we even have Uber back then? I'm pretty sure it was a cab.
No, years ago.
Flagged down a yellow can.
Remember when the cop had a block, and he was like, yo, man, I'm not supposed to be driving here. We were like, what? And he lied to the cops, and we were like, dude, and the cops were like, what the fuck is going on here?
I need Jules. Can you comprehend this story? I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm trying to make sense of it myself. So apparently, I ordered an Uber. I'm hoping it was on New Year's Eve, or else it's not related to the conversation. But I guess I ordered an Uber, and I made the guy go down a different street, and he bugged out, and the cops got involved. I don't know, typical night. Who knows?
And we told him that we got it. Like, just let us talk.
All right,
and he goes, okay. And the first thing this dude blurted out and said, he goes to the cops. He goes, I don't know who these guys are. We were like, what? You picked us up.
Again, I don't think it was an Uber driver. I'm pretty sure it was a yellow taxi, because that would make it a lot more sense. Because nowadays, obviously, everyone knows when you order a Lyft or an Uber, you literally are like, they know who you are. They have your phone number. It's all kind of hooked up that way. So yes, back in the day, you were able to flag down the yellow taxis. For those who know, you know what I'm talking about. For those who have never been in a yellow taxi, this is for you. But
I feel like this story is getting a lot of shit left out, and we're just getting the cliff notes to it, and it's probably
definitely the clip notes. It's kind of my like in and out of consciousness remembering of the event. So
holy
it
shit!
Was a crazy story. If I tell, it has nothing to do with New Year's.
No, but one thing I did have to agree with Crazy Mike over there is that definitely I have to admit that New Year's Eve is overrated. It always will be in my book. There have been plenty of other just Friday, Saturday nights, Thursday nights of going out.
Way better.
And it was so much better. I think anytime those big holidays get done, they get overdone. And it was kind of cool because I did see, and I guess it was because of COVID, there were a lot of like open bar parties that were cheap, man. I mean, like, it got to a point at one point with New Year's Eve, where it's like, if you didn't have like $400 to drop for that night, you couldn't really go out unless you were like bar, and then it was still expensive as shit. But like, I was seeing like open bar for like $60, open bar for like 4 hours, premium liquor. I'm like, what?
Wow.
Like, I hope that's the case, because if that is, we might have to like do a little like out of the old and fucking go out for 2022 to 2023. But we got a whole year to decide that.
Might have to go out
trying to kick away that hat.
Going on a regular Friday night. Shit, cheap. That is fucking cheap.
I feel like the best New Year's Eve ever I had more fun on Thanksgiving, even other holidays, but like especially 4th of July, stuff like that. But New Year's Eve, I think is when we planned something. We went to Hunter Mountain. I mean, we froze our balls off up there, but
that was
it was
fun.
yeah.
But Mike, you know
it.
what
Most
too?
times-
I was just gonna say, like, I think you started it, especially with next year, because if I'm not mistaken, like New Year's Day should fall on Sunday. If I think that's right. I don't think there's a leap year. And with that said, yo, everybody gotta go out on New Year's Eve. That's what's up. That's the new holiday.
That's my new thing.
New Year's Eve, bro. And
But
you
next
just
year, I'm
roll into
good.
New Year's, and before you know it, it's 2023.
Friday next year.
That's
It's gonna
it.
be popping.
You just heard like a new holiday that just got created on the Mix It Up podcast. But listen, we're gonna get off this topic. We're gonna go into some serious topics right now, but we're gonna take a real quick commercial break on the Mix It Up podcast. Malarkey don't want to go yet, but we'll be right back, Malarkey. We're not going anywhere. We'll be right back on the Mix It Up podcast. All right, we are back on the Mix It Up podcast. I'm Mike. That is Jules. That is Malarkey. Guys, once again, thanks for filling in. But we're gonna talk some serious topic, man. I want to go over the Ghislaine Maxwell trial. And for people that don't know about Ghislaine Maxwell, she's pretty much, was Jeffrey Epstein's
Brady's wife?
No, Jeffrey Epstein's fucking like hooker, pretty much, that pretty much got him young underage bitches to fucking go, not underage women to go to the underage girls, I should say, to go to give them massages and pretty much like
Street slang.
banging them. Yeah, street slang. I gotta get off my street slang. But she was going out there recruiting. She was his like main bitch, like the stable whore. And then she was getting his other girls.
His bottom bitch.
Bottom
if you
bitch?
really want to use the slang, bottom bitch.
That's it.
Or the madam of the house, right? I think those are the proper words. Just to throw that in there, And I learned about the bottoms bitch because of South Park.
South Park.
The bottom bitch keeps a database of all our customers, especially the VIPs, like Senator Morris.
Senator Morris?
Sure, Senator Morris gets kisses every day at lunchtime. You know where he likes to get kissed?
Where?
In a motel room. Darndest thing, he must get sleepy.
Go watch Bottom Bitch. To me, that's my favorite
Butters.
episode of all time.
When Butters was fucking running around with a stable of horse. Yeah, Jules, I fucking see
I
that
saw
episode.
that. That's funny.
That's a good one. That's a real fucking
I
good
remember
That's
episode.
what I
That's
learned
a
about a bottom bitch.
Yeah, but anyway, Ghislaine Maxwell, like she got arrested, and I mean she was in jail for a while. I'm surprised like they didn't find her hanging like Jeffrey Epstein magically just found hanging. So she got convicted 65 years, and all of a sudden the judge was like, nah, I don't need to hear any names out of her black book or any names that might have been tied to being a predator, a child predator. No, I don't need to hear that any information like that. What the fuck kind of shit is that you don't want to hear if people allegedly like, Bill Clinton, Jeffrey Epstein, Donald Trump, the list goes on and on that flew on that plane. How do you not reveal the list of names? And I'll tell you why. It's because all of a sudden, like, what other high profile people, maybe even that judge that supervised that fucking trial, maybe he was part of this underground child predator fucking ring. It's sick. Yeah. I mean, right. I mean, what are we fucking just made to believe like we're idiots? Like we should know this information. These are, these are children of the world, like getting victimized. It's bullshit. And you're not protecting them.
If that's us, our names are so being said. They're like got pictures. They're showing everything. They're like, this guy's a piece of shit.
You're right.
But you know what I mean?
They're showing my grade school fucking graduation pictures on fucking TV. Like, look at this asshole.
You'd be shocked. You'd be like, they got that picture? I didn't even remember that day. Like,
listen, I literally threw on my hoodie at this point. If you're watching on YouTube, and I'm making sure that it fits properly because it is dark gray. So this is my aluminum foil hat. They put on the tinfoil hat for all the conspiracy theories and all that kind of shit. If you are paying any kind of attention to this trial and think that this woman has not given up any names, all right? Epstein admitted to having a lot of like big names that were going to be involved in this whole, scandal, right? This whole trafficking thing. And what happened to him? He hung himself. Right. And I literally, if you were watching on YouTube, you saw me do it. I threw the quotation marks in the air, which is a very sarcastic way of saying hung himself. But anyhow, yeah, I mean, to believe that there aren't some very important people or, unfortunately, because they have a ton of money, they now become powerful people within this country, within other countries around the world that weren't involved, didn't go to to that, private island, weren't on that plane, weren't like involved, didn't have some sort of idea of what's going on, weren't at parties where they saw women that were probably questionable in age, hanging out and drinking with them, you're out of your fucking mind.
Right.
All right. Because there's absolutely no way. And basically, this woman said, look, you're going to have to go to jail. You're going to have to take the fall. But if you say anything, you're dead. And like, that's it. So live out your life in prison or, end up hanging yourself like Epstein did. And honestly, that's what I think her choice was, because you even heard, I think it was something about her brother was saying. He was like, she's not going to give up any name. She's going to stay quiet. Yeah, I wonder why. All right. Listen, all of a sudden, there's going to be some correctional officer that had, makes $65,000-$75,000 a year, and their bank account now has like $500,000 sitting in somewhere in Sweden. All right, but Switzerland, excuse me, but you know what I mean.
I wish.
Come on.
I wish they named some people. Imagine they named Bill Clinton. Clinton would go with that speech again. He'd be like, I did not have relations with these.
I was not on that plane.
We heard this before.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're like, wait, he's saying that shit again?
My man's going for the matinee fucking act, man. He's like doing the whole fucking skit again.
Yo, it's funny when like people with money get caught. Look at all those baseball
get away with murder.
People like, I did not do steroids. You're all huge. Your heads are huge. Like, what are you talking about?
You got mad acne on your back. What the fuck?
I mean, listen, to be fair, it's scary that when you talk about that kind of upper echelon of wealth, what it does and what it controls. Because think about it. I mean, those kind of individuals, when they're part of that 1%, like Epstein was, like Donald Trump thinks he is, but he's up there, but he's not quite that top echelon. They could buy police forces. They could buy counties. And literally, they could buy a county. I mean, he basically had the right guys in Palm Beach under his thumb, especially back then. I mean, that's how he's operating and getting away with these things. I mean, look, you bring it to like the drug cartels, right? How the hell do you think they control countries?
Right.
Countries. It's not like they control like their neighborhood. They're over there controlling like the Mexican government, the Colombian government shit. Why? Because they got that kind of money. That's insane.
I don't understand how money makes that happen. Like it's that crazy.
Well, you said it, Millar. Like he bought an island. He bought a fucking island, you said, right? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
The fuck? He bought Pedo Island.
Dude, they live life like it's that Monopoly game. We live life like what? Imagine we just woke up yesterday tomorrow and we're like, yo, man, I'm buying New York. I don't give a fuck. I'm buying.
Yo, Soho is now mine. It's like, it is like Monopoly. It's like, yo, I just bought Boardwalk, motherfucker.
Hell yeah.
I'm about to build a hotel on that shit.
Crazy.
You know?
But seriously, I mean, listen, that's the ridiculousness. Like, you literally have to put yourself in the mind of a Monopoly game and understand that that's the type of money that they have, where they can turn around and say, yeah, you know what? I bought Park Place too. Now I can start building the skyscrapers in the friggin' hotels, right? And guess what? If you land on it, you fucked.
That's scary as fuck, though. But
seriously.
Jules,
you're like, yo, who owns Corona Queens? Trainer? Yo, motherfucker, sell that shit for cheap. That shit is fucked up right now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they buy things like it's like fucking hilarious.
Well, that's what Jules was saying before, as far as like, when the brother of Giselle came out saying, oh, she never did this, she ain't gonna rat. It's because the fucking people probably got to her family threatening them. That's why he's coming out in the news saying like, oh shit, she would never rat it, because they want to be protected, because they know like the more money these people have, the more power they have, and they're gonna literally get away with murder. And that's a scary thing, man. If you have the money, you have the fucking power here in our country, man. It's sick. There's shit to get away with.
That's not just this country. That's any country. That's why I should have went into drug trafficking like 30 years ago, because I would have been smart. I would have bought a couple of islands out of the United States reach. I would have made sure that I can't get expedited from there, and I would have stopped my business. I would have been like, oh, I'm done. I made my fucking 40 billion and I'm wrapping shit up. I don't see me. I got plastic surgery. I am out.
The kingpin.
I'm out the business.
Jules, tell me a real thing. Remember when we were young, he was like, yo, man, I got a waste of talent. I should be a fucking porno.
I was listen, listen, that would be my cover. I'd be running like a legit, like X-rated industry from the island. Like, no. This is all we do here. All right, I fly models in and out all the time. You know what I mean? This is what we do.
Ron Jeremy of Yonkers, nigga. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh,
Just saying, man. Look, I have visions. I have visions. All right.
You did. That was a funny drinking moment that night. We were like, what? Yeah, man, you should do it.
Well, that's what I'm
The
saying,
fuck
but that
you
would be the
doing around
cover.
here? Go to
And then,
Vegas.
we'd be flying things in and out of there, and then you stay with the cover. You stop the
Hell
drugs,
yeah.
you made $40 billion, and now it's just a porno island. That's it.
They couldn't give people like us money. I don't know what we would do stupid. Probably nothing, but they would just think we're retarded.
I can't have too much money. There's no way. I'd be doing dumb shit.
I wouldn't do any. You know what's funny? We wouldn't do anything that like weird shit, but we would do stuff that is like stupid. You're like, what did you buy? I'm like,
I changed
Neverland. I don't know why.
I would change the rims on every basketball court in New York. I would literally change the rim.
No more chains.
I hated that shit. It ruined basketballs.
It really did. Everyone put it on. It did sound nice, but you're like dicks. It's fucking up my ball.
Right. I'm like, this ain't a fucking prison yard. Like, give me a net. It's like $3.
Yo, it was a nice sound when you heard it hit. You're like, cha-ching.
Fucking nuts.
Oh, like we would do stupid shit. Never that time you dumb.
I would try to buy Randall's Island. Like, who the fuck goes there? Nobody goes to Randall's Island, right? I'm like, I want to buy Randall's Island. How much can that shit be? Like 10 billion? All right, it's 10 billion. I just made 40.
For Randall's?
Yeah, Randall's. I'll be waving to Manhattan all day long. And then I just put like a sick hotel with a sick rooftop on it and have a crazy ass party there with one of the best views in all of New York City. Like, party all the time on Randall's Island.
I'll start off low. I'll buy City Island.
I'll buy Long Island. It won't be fucking set. I have crazy fucking bitches with fucking crazy tans.
Oh, Long Island bitches are hot, though. I would definitely buy that, but you have to put in the deal. Like, yo, do I get all these bitches? They're like, yo, that's probably what they think.
It's in full hats off now. Now that conspiracy theory is put to bed.
Right. You probably think you probably, especially these guys are pretty much older. So it was a time where they got away with everything. So they're rich. So they're like, I could do anything. Like, you know what I mean? When you got money, like, dude, like Pablo Escobar didn't sit around and say, I don't think I should do this shit. Like,
he just went for it.
Like, he did.
Like, I feel like doing this today.
In their heads, they don't think it's ever going to end. In their heads, they're
That's the problem.
I'm untouchable. I don't know why they think that. We would have the opposite effect. Like, yo, this shit's gonna end soon. This is way too good.
Right. Yeah, right. Like something's bound to happen.
Just like any keg party we threw back in the day where you had the keg in the backyard and you charge $5 a cup. You knew that shit wasn't gonna last all night. Right. You over there making money, especially on the ones that you made money. Like a lot of people showed up, and you're like, "Yo, I can go buy 3 more kegs." That shit gets raided. You're running for your life. You lost a deposit, so now you barely broke even. Yeah, that's why we know that shit. We was like putting our brains. These guys didn't have keg parties, man. If they did, they would have been millionaires for long.
Dude,
get those $5 quick before the cops come.
Yeah, you know.
I mean, think about what these dudes are doing. Like, we would have walked in the room, any of our friends, and if you saw a 14-year-old girl, like, what are you fucking doing, you crazy mother? Nah, it's good, bro. It's good. Like, dude, this is not.
You want a massage? Like, no, not from you or her.
Yeah. Like, what do you think? This is the old days in Greece and shit, like Egypt, and like, you know, like they probably do live like that. They're like, you know what's funny? In other countries, I'm not saying, but some of this shit happens. So they probably go to that and they're like, oh my God, look at this stuff. We could do this. I'll just buy an island and I can start my own shit. Like, you know?
That's what he did.
Crazy.
That's what Jeffrey Epstein did. But you know what?
That's basically what he did. Yeah.
He paid the ultimate price and now he was found hanged. So it definitely comes to an end. One way or another.
It does.
Yeah, but usually not.
But how many years he got away with it?
Yep.
It's crazy. How many years he got away with it is like,
yeah,
like you know, I mean, he's probably got, one thing, he could write a book and stories that he's got. You're like, remember that year? Like, holy shit. He's sitting there like, you sick fuck.
And that this does kind of tie into what we were talking about earlier with Google and everything, right? Like just as simple as like, ending any kind of argument that would have occurred in a bar, or, just making like an average person seem that much smarter, right? Literally, that's what Google did, but so is what all of technology did. I mean, you think about it with all these like, these drug lords and things that we've been kind of like making light of and with serious tones to them. The reason these guys can't operate like that no more. you ain't able to fucking smuggle all these. The reason why things are going on in Mexico is they got tunnels and they got all this other different crazy ways that they came up to like defeat technology, right? So they went underground, but like the way they were operating in the 80s, we're driving shits on boats and flying planes in the
Yeah,
Florida.
people
Like,
figure out
you
another
can't do
way.
that shit no more, man.
Right.
There's surveillance everywhere. There's fucking everybody got a surveillance in their pocket. You pull out your phone, you start videoing something, bro. That's it. That's surveillance. That's CCTV.
True.
Like, you
But
can't
there's
do shit
always a
no
way.
more, man. All the platforms you can post it on, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, this, that. Like, bro, like, I would hate to be a gangster in this day and age because, like, I don't know how to get away with shit like these criminals.
Payoffs.
Like, you can't
They
be a
do it on
career
the
criminal no more. Like, unless you're a cyber hacker. Like, what do you
Bribes.
do? Like,
Bribes.
it's just dumb to be
They
a criminal
switched
at
their
this time.
game.
They bribe.
They switched their game.
They throw bribes at people. Tell them.
I
Nah,
get it. I mean,
shut
listen,
up.
they've been bribing forever, but
Yeah.
you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Like, now you got to bribe to change surveillance tapes.
Dude,
Look,
you
if
could
you're
go
going to be
on.
in a criminal organization,
All
you
right.
better have a damn good hacker that can hack into like security footage and shit
All right.
and change it so that they're just watching the same tape from 6 hours ago.
I'll give you an idea. How mobs and everybody will probably switch the game. Think about back in the day, we used to go and see the hookers down the city and stuff like that. Now they're what? Online and shit
Allegedly.
to, like private sites. And allegedly, yeah, my ass, they're still there. But
Allegedly that I went down
freaking-
there and seen them.
I'm just saying an
Allegedly.
example. So you don't think the mob and everybody else don't figure out it's the internet way. It's probably why ISIS and all them are doing stuff on fucking line and stuff like getting things. They're recruiting that way. Like, dude, people switch the game and then all of a sudden all the criminals figure out a new way to switch their game. You know what I mean? Like, I'm
I'm telling you, every one of those criminal like organizations have some hackers on their fucking payroll.
Oh yeah.
There ain't no
That's
doubt
something.
about that shit.
Scientists.
Definitely fucking there.
They
No
got
doubt, bro.
scientists.
There ain't no doubt, bro. They
You know what's
hack
funny?
into everything.
When I went down to like Hunts Point, like, and to see the hookers, like, I didn't get any, but I remember when I was like 15, we drove down and we seen them outside and we just be like, roll down the window, we yell titties, and then we just fucking take off. Like, we were stupid, like little kids and shit.
I saw the craziest shit one night there that I remember. I don't know who did it. Not gonna name names. I remember going with my older brother and his friends, and like me and Joe and all them, and we went there and we paid.
Not gonna name
one of the
names,
older
you
dudes
drop
paid
one.
like
Don't name it.
for real. It was crazy what a girl would do. I don't think it was a hooker. It might have been a crackhead. She played with herself with a yoo-hoo that was sitting on the floor for like $5. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is what's crazy.
And so just to
I
kind
saw
of
that
like
at the
recap
age
this
of
and like put
14.
some perspective. All right.
14.
There was a show on HBO back in, what was it, the 90s, I guess? It was called Hookers at the Point.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, it's an HBO,
HBO, yeah.
special. You can look it up. I'm sure you can find
You
it on
know you
YouTube.
saw somebody you
right?
knew.
Well, you know, what are you going to do? You're a teenager. You know, you're a 15-minute ride from Hunts Point. Sure. Of course, we drove through that neighborhood to see this kind of like craziness that HBO actually made a very successful fucking reality show off of in the 90s.
Yo, remember
Yeah,
Mario
Yeah,
Brothers?
we saw it firsthand.
Make-
The only
remember
place where
Mario
you could get
Brothers? Make the right on the bridge of Mario Brothers.
the only place you could go where you could get like a rims for your fucking tires and a rim job for your asshole. The only fucking place in
And
America.
if you wait around early enough, they had
No,
all the
it's
fruit
so
stands and
grimy.
everything. You get fresh vegetables about like 6 in the morning.
Remember
You
they used
need
to have
it.
the
You
street
need it
races
to cure
there,
those
too?
herpes.
Yo, the craziest strip club I ever went to was in Hunts Point, where I was like, yo, man, we might die here. I was like, it's fucking the Wedge. Thank God they had an alarm system when you went in the damn thing, like to check you. But the Wedge, yo, these bitches were insane. Like,
They had
dude,
knives.
I think it was like, honestly, I think lap dance.
That
never-
metal detector didn't work, bro. You really think that shit worked? When you walked through
wow, I
it,
hope
it would
it
just
did.
make
Well,
the
no-
sound.
nothing popped off that
Like,
night.
yo,
For
that
show.
shit never worked.
For show.
Yo,
Yo.
you just went in there. You didn't fuck around. That was it. Like, you
It was like
you acted
$5 lap
appropriately.
dances. $5 lap dances. You couldn't get nothing for $5. $5. I'm like, yo, go crazy, girl. Go crazy. Here's a 20.
I wish that place was still around. But
Yeah.
anyway,
If you
I
ever
don't
want
know.
to just kind of experience what we're describing, go look up HBO's Hooker at the Point, and that kind of gives you an understanding of what that was like. And imagine being in high school during that time.
absolutely, it was some experience, man. Let me tell you, like
14
growing up,
years old.
that 14,
14.
15 years old, right? All right, guys, let's take another quick commercial break on the Mix Up Podcast, and then we'll go into
14 people.
some-
What are you
some
doing at
more
14.
some more topics. We'll be right back on the Mix It Up podcast. All right, we are back on the Mix It Up podcast. I'm Mike. That's Jules. That's Sean. Guys, we're gonna bring up another topic. It ties in with coronavirus and what's going on now. But I don't know. Did you guys hear what mass psychosis is? Anybody or no? All right,
What?
so mass psychosis, Malarsic. So mass psychosis is
Where'd you
basically
learn that word, motherfucker?
Google.
the internet.
He Googled it.
I'm smart now, idiot.
Google makes everybody smart.
Yo, make mad people smart. So I'm gonna break it down right because I'm smart now.
Matt, they're gonna roast this.
Mass psychosis. So basically, it's like when a society gets hypnotized and decopulated from each other. So they separate from each other. They have anxiety, a sense of things that doesn't make any sense. What's going on in the world, and then once these people get kind of like feels that sense, then they pick, like, say a leader comes in and they say, oh, we're going to make it all better. So everybody goes and follows them. Oh, they're going to give us a vaccine. They're going to make this virus go away. Right. And then all of a sudden, like anyone that disagrees with that, all of a sudden they get attacked by the separated people. You hear what I'm saying? You hear what's going on with the whole virus.
I believe it.
And so it seems like that's way. And let me just bring up a like quick little point is that now we're hearing stories where like other countries want more vaccines. And then there's other stories where it's coming out that there was a story of fully vaccinated cruise ship with like 200 people on it that was in Portugal. They had a big outbreak. So all of a sudden, like, I mean, I think we're starting to see the answers that maybe the vaccine's a dud or it's just not really working as well as they said it was. And then that's why all these boosters and all these 4th and 5th and 6th shots are coming. Do you guys buy what's going on, or are people starting to wake up now? And I know, Malarsi, you had the vaccine.
I had the first one. I didn't go for the second one because I was like, fuck this shit. Like, you know what I mean? Because I look at it like this.
Smart.
It's like when I like the eye thing and everyone gets a laser tag. I try to tell people that doctors, they are just regular people like us. They don't know everything and the effects, especially when something new comes out. So I don't fully blame them. Like these things don't work and or don't like they're trying to think they think something is this and like that, but like they don't know the effects of it. Who knows? You might grow a fucking 2 dicks. Like you're like, you know what I mean? You're like, what the fuck happened here?
That would help me out with my dream.
I could use it.
No.
What is this mine?
Yeah, right.
Not somebody else's.
Yeah, when a girl pulls it down, like, oh my god, you better not marry that girl. She's like, oh my god, more cock.
Do you get 4 balls to go with that, or do you just stay with the 2 balls?
I don't know. That'll be a lot of peeing. Well, I gotta go again.
A lot of testosterone right there, man. If you got fucking 4 balls, you might be lifted up like mad weight at the gym.
You won't need the juice anymore, that's for sure.
And humping everything in sight.
Oh, forget it. I'm like, I could fuck both of you at the same time.
Yo, bring out a third chick.
Yeah,
I know, right? Make it a challenge.
That would be weird, but that'd be funny. Friggin', but I look at it like this too. I look at it the other way too. Like I've been saying for a long time that the government, the rich, they always do this stuff to make you. It's funny how they made the left and the right, because it makes. I always been saying that before those names came about. I said they make you look left and right because they don't. They try to either keep us down to what our level is because they have no clue what they're fucking doing. You know what I mean? And then this stuff with the fucking stuff, I believe it. It's kind of like we'll bring them back this way. And, like, oh my God, they saved us. From what? I have no idea. A flu.
From the cold.
Like, yeah. I mean, I won't make fun of it fully because listen, Trey, I know you don't feel it. I'm a little suspect that Corona, I don't know, because now it's like Amari and it's like, Jesus Christ, how many fucking versions of this stupid stuff? Like, just get one thing and name it one. But I'm like, because people have died, but it's probably caused symptoms and they don't know how to come out with it. But like, dude, it's a little weird that everybody's like, dude, especially this week, everybody's like, I got the Rona. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, dude, you got a cold. You probably got a cold. Everybody got a cold. It's fucking freezing balls here right now. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yes.
Well, yeah, and especially if you live in New York, the temperature's been going up and down like dramatically. I mean, we had weather in the 60s last week, just last week.
Oh my God.
Yesterday it was 19 now. I mean,
Yeah.
you can't go from 60 to 19
No.
and like be outside and running around and not expect to get some kind of sniffle. I mean, let's be real here.
That's why,
'Cause that fucks you up.
Melissa, you're bringing up a good point. You're saying it's a cold, right? You're saying it's tied to cold. Now, people that are going around getting tested for coronavirus, they have on a list when you get your medical records back. If you have coronavirus number 229E, they say that's labeled as coronavirus, right? They're going to test positive. They're going to give you a positive test. But if you look that up, it's just lists the symptoms exactly like a cold is. So basically, they're just renaming it if you catch a cold. Because so imagine like, all right, I think for me, it's just like these names are coming out with. They're just renaming the flu from last year, and they're just renaming the cold from this year. They're just renaming. They're just giving them new names and causing mass hysteria to people.
Yeah.
And like people are just dying because of anxiety and of like your underlying conditions. Like this, sure, there's people died, but
I think people are fed up.
people are fed up now.
Like,
yeah, big time.
Guys,
Like they don't
I
want to hear
I'm
shit.
gonna put my tinfoil hat back on here for another one.
They don't want to hear nothing.
There we go.
anymore. They don't-
And look. If there aren't, because there's plenty of people, myself included, that have had corona,
Me too.
have gotten vaccinated, right? And now they're telling you, oh, you got to go get another test done, right? Well, if I currently just got fully vaccinated, like less than say a few months ago, and all of a sudden I have all these antibodies, how would I not show up positive? Right? If I have the actual, that's what the antidote does, right? It puts some more of it into you. You don't know how long this shit actually stays in your system. They say in 2 weeks you can't spread it, but doesn't mean it's not still in your system for a little while, especially when you get shot up on antidotes. So now I'm an athlete that goes and gets tested, and that's why you get all these false positives. You get these guys that are asymptomatic that are tested positive. Like, bro, it's ridiculous.
Sure.
So, like, they
asthma.
create these other ones, the Omicron and this one and that one, E2975, and all this crazy shit, so that they can literally continuously can say, like, oh, you need to go get a booster now. We need to put a commercial on. We need to fucking mandate, quarantine this and shut the school down for that. And you can't go public access for this and 6 feet apart. It's ridiculous. I'm sorry. It's been multiple years at this point. Everybody's been vaccinated to a certain extent, except for you guys. You guys are up in Westchester, us in the city. We have to be, or else I can't go anywhere. I wouldn't be able to leave my house. I'd have to find a job that could work remotely, and I'd have to have someone deliver groceries to me. All right, but you guys don't get it, man.
Yeah.
In New York City, bro, I almost got like attacked by a bartender when I walked into one of these brewery pubs in Queens. I walked in and I was just like, and he's like, hold on, you got to show your vaccination card. And the city's coming down hard on them. It's $1,000 fine.
Yeah,
if
it's
I
crazy.
didn't have a vaccination card. Like, bro, it's insane. Or if I forgot mine at home and it wasn't downloaded, they could still get $1,000 fine. Like, it's nuts, dude. So I think it's a little over the top.
Money, you're gonna find me, dude. What happens if you go get vaccine and then they lie to you? They tell you on the day that you come in the room. And would you get nervous? It's like, if they're like, listen, we don't put this vaccine in it's going in your ass. Are you gonna do it? Or are you gonna?
I'm out.
Yeah.
It's cool. This whole shit.
That would be hilarious.
What happened? We mentioned South Park earlier. Did you guys see the latest one?
Why is Paramount so quiet?
The post-COVID, Paramount.
I need somebody's password to watch that shit. I gotta fucking see it.
Or sign up for like the free week, bro. They give you a free week.
Oh, it's a free week.
The mayor of whatever town. I started watching that the other night.
That shit is cool.
That was all right. Not bad show.
Paramount Plus.
But they literally singled out one of the characters of South Park that didn't get vaccinated, and it's 100 million jokes.
Really?
And there's literally one point where they're quarantined, and one of the girls, Wendy's, because they're older now, whips it out, and she's like, "You want to do some cocaine? You want to party?" And he's like, "Oh hell yeah, I want to party. I haven't partied forever." And then they start lining it up, and he goes to do a line, and he's like, "Wait a minute. Is this that vaccine shit?" And she's like, "What?" He's like, "Oh, this vaccine." He's like, "I ain't putting that shit in my body."
Damn, I gotta fucking see this
typical
shit,
South
man.
Park fashion, dude.
I hate it. I hate how they put on Paramount. I gotta see.
I don't know how the hell Paramount bought that. I think Paramount owns part of MTV or something, or MTV owns part of Paramount.
Yeah.
Dude, they got so many new shows.
And that's the reason why.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Fucking streaming.
There's an app for everything.
It's too much.
Tomorrow is gonna be an app for trainer.
But it is great though, right?
Too much streaming.
How many people are
Mixed
actually
podcast app? You can't watch.
How many people are anti-vaccinated, but yet they partied back in the day. They did lines of coke. They fucking dropped ecstasy. They drank all this crazy. Like, I ain't putting that vaccine in my body. You crazy?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's another good point too. Like,
You know what's
that's
funny?
crazy, dude.
You know what's funny? I said one day, right? I'm hanging out with some dudes, and all of a sudden everyone's like, "Yo, this is like a year ago when I first started the other one with the vaccine." He's like, "Dude, I don't know about this vaccine thing," and I'm like, "Yo, you don't know what it's gonna do to you." And I'm like, "Yo, man, you smoke a pack of cigarettes a day. You eat unhealthy every day. Like, dude, shut the fuck up. Like,
take 5 of them. Take 5 vaccines.
you know."
Yeah.
It's like,
How many,
yo,
what was those like hungry cases out of White Castle? Like the 32 cases, guys would have competitions.
The
That
case.
they can eat 32 mini cheeseburgers in a case.
The
And sitting
case.
after drinking like fucking for 3
Yeah.
hours of beer and alcohol. But yo, I ain't gonna get vaccinated.
no. But you drink a case of dude. Yo, the best one I ever heard. This is true. Like, I'm sitting there and we're talking to Vinny, and Vinny's like, "I use organic soap." I used to go out with him. I said, "Yo, man, he's got the healthiest cock ever. He uses organic soap." To girls, they're like, "What? You suck his cock. It's organic."
Hey, listen, at least he's cleaning himself and taking care of himself and not flipping out like a
man.
maniac. Because Maloxa, there's people now that are losing their shit over this whole virus and all the mandates. And this whole Omicron variant that came out. Literally, people are lining up on the streets to get COVID tests to find out if they're sick. They have no symptoms. They're just lining up on these lines just to find out if they're sick or not. Like, tell me I'm sick. Tell me I'm not sick. Like, these people, like, do you even have a sniffle? Like, what are you doing here? Get the fuck out of here. This is what the media and shit is doing to these people.
They might actually have a sniffle, right? Like, you know how like when the weather changes or you come from it being hot outside and then you go outside for like a half hour and you come back in, you're kind of sniffly.
Right.
That's normal. That's what
normal
usually happens. It's happened for 100 years, right?
Correct.
Let me ask you something.
But like now, it's like, oh shit, that might be corona.
Let me ask you something. If it's like a hot nurse that tested you, you're like, I would go and make up something like, "Yo, grab my balls and tell me to cough." Like, you know what I mean? Like, fucking, like, I got some symptoms. Like, you know, like, who knows?
There was a nurse.
People are retarded.
There was a nurse at urgent care one time. Melissa, there was a nurse at urgent care one time when I went in. This is going back a couple of years ago when I sprained my foot playing basketball. So I had to go in there, and she was hot. I went back. I went back a couple hours. I'm like, "You sure you like wrap this right? Like, I don't know. Like, I think it might be fucking messed up or whatever. Should I get more ice?" She's like, "Get out of here, you fucking creep." Stop hitting on me. But yeah, I get it, man. Like, I'm sure there's
like I'm a trained professional. Yeah, wrap that shit right.
There's maniacs out there.
I know my doctor. They got some cute ass nurses. The one I go to for like what. I think I got to get somebody new because he's retiring in that office. Because I was like, "Yo, I mess with these nurses all the time. They're funny." But there's like so many cute ones. But like, I think they mess with me too. Because honestly, I went one time and it was for a regular cold. And she was like, "Drop your whole shit." And I'm like, "You fucking with me?"
Drop your shit.
Like, yeah, like, why I got to get naked? Like, we're not even doing an MRI or anything. Like, what the fuck is going on here? You know?
Meanwhile, the doctor was a dude. And he was like, "Bro, I want to see if you got a 6-pack like me."
Nah, I ain't got that. I wish I did. That's a resolution, but that ain't ever gonna happen.
Larry asked you to drop it. Dr. Larry.
Do me a favor, drop it. I'll cuff your balls and let you cough.
Dr. Larry's like, "You ever had your shit pushed in?"
Coronavirus! Coronavirus!
Yo, we did that at a party. Everybody looked at us like we were insane.
You pushed somebody's shit in?
No. We were saying it at a party, like, "Yo, man, you ever get your shit pushed in?" And like everyone was like, "What the?" Yo, it was the people that never saw the movie. They were like nice people and couples. They asked the girl Laura. They were like, "Yo, what's up with your friends?" I was like, "Dude, only one kid from the Bronx." Like, I know that movie. Like Denzel, shit. Like,
wait. I thought your shit pushed in was in like you got to take a shit. And it's like starting to creep out of your ass a little bit. You're like, I gotta push it back in.
One dude seriously asked me, she's like, "Yo, you guys been locked up? I'm sorry, you got raped in jail?"
Oh,
yeah, motherfucker.
Well, that's what happens when you go to parties in Bronxville, like the nicest neighborhood, and then fucking you show up. Talking about having your shit pushed in. Jesus Christ. All right. So like, listen, like the last, we'll go for like about 10, 15 more minutes of the show, but I'm just going to fire out some quick random topics. And if you guys want to, mention something, like fire it away, man. So, real quick in the news, Keanu Reeves, he donated 70% of his Matrix salary to cancer research. I thought that was fucking some top notch shit, man. Keanu Reeves, man, he's like one of the most down to earth actors. He always doing this fucking
Cool.
classy, real shit, man. Man, cool. And if you didn't see The Matrix, go fucking watch it. That shit was fucking awesome.
It was good.
It was good.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I don't
I
want to
liked
give too
it.
much away because there's probably people listening who didn't see it, and obviously Mars accounts it. But you know, the ending you and I need to discuss offline. All right, that's all I got.
I always
Yeah.
watch
All right.
Matrix.
All right, that's it. I will leave it there.
No, I'm not
Hey,
gonna
yo,
get into it, but I always watch the
yo,
Matrix
Keanu
movies.
Reeves, that's a great gesture and it's well appreciated. But yo, he made
He's
so much
cool.
money off of John Wick in the first Matrix that like,
I
bro,
like that
he don't even
don't
need
need
the
it.
paycheck no more.
I know, that's true. True.
Yo, when he makes a movie, he makes like 20 of them.
Yeah, no kidding. I only have to like number 5 with John Wick, bro. I gotta like start watching that shit. Again.
Everything
Like,
except for
I think I saw like the
Speed,
first
no.
one, maybe the second one. I don't even remember.
I mean,
I'm like, yo, John Wick 75. That shit was dope. I'm like, what?
Bill and Ted, they
Yeah,
got
I
like
don't know
8 of
how
them.
far they're gonna go with this.
I know it's crazy, man.
Like, I hope the next one is probably the last one. Like, because it's like, how long are you gonna go with this fucking guy fighting everybody? Like, just end this shit.
Keanu Reeves,
Like,
how many
yeah.
times you gonna go in an elevator, go back in time at Bill and Ted's? But anyway, man, cool dude, like right there. I thought he was awesome. But another thing in the news, like I know you guys seen Antonio Brown, Antonio Clown, I call him, just decided to quit on the sidelines. But there was I mean, everybody knows the story. If he didn't, he ran on the field, he quit during the fucking Jet game. Told his coach pretty much go fuck himself and just fucking left mid-game. He's running half naked on the sideline going through the
Guy's
tunnel.
awesome.
But I know he's awesome. Like, I agree with you, Melissa. He's awesome. But another funny aspect about that story is like OJ Simpson went on Twitter and OJ Simpson called Antonio Brown antics inexcusable. So I tweeted at OJ Simpson. I was like, well, you know what
Why
else
would
is
you-
inexcusable is murder. Yeah, he never got back to me,
Why
so
would
he
you
didn't like
tweet
it.
at OJ?
You know what else is kind of inexcusable? Going and holding up your friend at gunpoint because he has some memorabilia of yours. You know, I think that's
Oh my
inexcusable too.
God.
You know what I mean? Like that's something he was actually found guilty of. So, you know,
OJ's gonna kill my trainer.
Oh man,
OJ
Fucking
ain't getting
OJ,
me.
bro. You know what? You know what it is? I guess that's a perfect example of
I
how
would never go at OJ.
our system, our justice system rehabilitates individuals. Okay,
Money.
Yo,
look at
Money.
OJ. He's rehabilitated, right?
Trainer,
Money
how
got him
nervous-
off too.
Man.
Trainer,
Wow.
how nervous would you be? All of a sudden, you ring the door.
Oh,
Oh,
rehabilitated.
outside.
OJ's fucking out there with his fucking rent-a-car in his Hertz
He's like,
rent-a-car
yo, man,
waiting
did
to
you
fucking
write
kill me.
this tweet?
I'm like, what? I'm like, what's those isotoner gloves you got on, OJ? You gonna fucking
Oh,
strangle me?
What was that
No,
line with the glove?
Well, you
the
know, you
glove
guys
don't
heard, right?
fit,
Speaking
quit
of
or
Antonio
something?
Clown, you guys heard that like he literally got stuck in New York because there was so much like bad weather and everything else.
Yeah.
He couldn't get a flight down to Tampa.
Well, you
So he
can't.
hung
You
out
gotta
at the
wear
Mets
clothes to
game.
go on a
I think he
flight.
was hoping that OJ picked him up in a Hertz rental car. I don't know.
That
he, was
guy's
hoping,
crazy.
he was hoping OJ drove down from Buffalo and picked him up.
I think honestly,
Amazing.
there's points of like you're like retarded. Like he's super retarded. Like, dude, like there's no point. Like, why are you going? Like I don't understand. You love attention. Like, what made you do all that shit? Like, yo, you finally got back in on a team, and then you do this shit again. Like,
He's nuts.
and it was already happening. It was already happening because he did the vaccine fake thing. He was like, it was just like, fuck this shit. I'm going
Mars, you
crazy
would know.
again.
You would know this for sure because now I'm confused, right? Maybe you would too, Mike. Yo, Antonio Brown won a Super Bowl with Pittsburgh too, right? Was he on that? Was he on that
No.
second one?
No,
he
it
wasn't
wasn't
yet.
That was home.
He wasn't yet. So his
Yeah,
first
San
one was
Antonio
last
Holmes.
year on Tampa, then, right?
Yeah.
All right, I
Yeah.
guess he was like, "Fuck it, one and done, baby. I'm good."
That could be
That
it.
was Holmes and was it Plaxico still there? No.
Nah, it was Santonio
Hines
Holmes and
Ward and
Hines
Plat-
Ward. Hines Ward and
Hines Ward, the
Santonio
first
Holmes.
one. No, but what was the second one? What was the other wide receiver?
Both those two
Nah,
guys.
that's why I thought. Oh, it was what's his name? Wasn't it Plaxico?
Or did he go to the
Plaxico was
Giants?
one?
No, the second one he was already on the Giants. I think.
He was. All right.
The first one, I don't know if he was there, Plaxico.
I don't think he was.
I don't think he was either. It was Hines and somebody else. They had like stupid, like, oh, what was that other dude? Did they still have Cordell or some bullshit like that? Like, yeah,
I don't
that
know.
was like
Stewart?
06.
We'll look it up after the
look
podcast
it
is
up.
over. We'll try to find that
Find out
information.
now.
Just
Somebody
Google
write
that
it.
shit.
Google it because you'll be smart. Hey, listen, there's one other thing talking about the NFL. There was actually a stadium, an NFL stadium that just started falling apart like after
Go
the
fuck
game.
yourself.
Oh,
Go
So-
fuck yourself.
There was a
no, was it yours?
Yeah, it was. It was the fucking Washington Redskins and Philadelphia Eagles. Philly went to Washington to play the game. Washington don't even have a name because their fucking stadium sucks so bad.
But there'll be a big reveal February 2nd on the morning show.
22.
They're going back to the Redskins. They're racist. And
Hell
then
yeah.
so
to the E to the G.
let me tell a story about it. Jalen Hurts was walking towards the tunnel, and the fans like wanted to give him like a pound or whatever. They were reaching over the railing, and I guess there was just one too many fat people trying to reach over the railing to try to give him a pound, and the whole shit collapsed. And if you guys watch the video, it collapsed right by Jalen Hurts' foot, and as soon as there was like 10 fans just lying face first on the ground right on top of the railing. And the camera guy, if you looked at the camera guy looked at one of them and kicked him. He kicked one of the dudes that was lying on the fucking ground that fucking almost fell on him. It was hilarious. Just go watch that video if you haven't seen it. Just watch it. It was just so fucking funny.
Now,
man.
considering that it's no longer Sunday, because Sunday you're only getting that one angle, there's actually multiple angles of this event. So it was those later on angles that like made it classic to me. I don't know.
You know what's funny?
Perfect.
They say that like a Philly fan or whatever the hell said like they got treated like this, like get the like this. But I'm like, dude, it seems like it was like a half an hour after the game was over that Hurts was going like, and like I'm like, people would come up to me because I'm a Redskins. And I'm like, dude, I hate FedEx Field. I think it's a piece of shit, fucking big ass fucking move. It's like all the other, like even MetLife. Like, but here's the thing that's funny. What stadium actually treats you right? Like we go to Yankee Stadium, they're mean as hell to us. Like, you know, like I think that every stadium, security and stuff, but one thing I will say that I heard with the story, and I'm not trying to stick up for my team, but that was a handicap section that they weren't even supposed to be in. That was and they broke the thing and like nobody medically helped me. I'm like, dude, there was nobody left on the field. They're like, get out of here, you idiots.
It was better than a bunch of handicapped people falling over the railing. That's for
sure.
That would have been a lot worse, in my opinion.
I mean, can you imagine that? Jesus.
Yeah, but if we fell, would we really give it? Like, we'd be like, they didn't even help us. Well, you're the idiot that fell, you idiots.
I would have left them there. If I worked there, I would have left them. Like, I'm going home. I ain't dealing with this shit.
Phil, and listen, everybody, we know how Philly fans are. You guys, you know, they're not the nicest people in the world. So they're like, oh, we were so sweet.
Yeah,
no, you weren't.
They fell on their quarterback who just won the game. So that could be pissed at them.
Right.
Washington won that game. Yeah, I'm sure somebody would have tried to tackle Jalen Hurts. It would have been a whole different scenario.
Yep.
Oh man. It was, I mean, it's a funny story, but like, you know, but people, you know, this is what I hate about the world. This is what I hate, because everybody will write on Twitter and stuff. They're a piece of shit organization. And they do that with every organization. You're like, dude, what the hell do you want us to do? Like, you know what I mean? Like people have their opinion on like, and the funny thing is, when you get stories from some people, how do you know that that person is telling the truth? Just because he fell? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
that's why I hate
one
New
guy
York media.
was big. And he was just like, yo, he fell on top of him. If you saw that big one, and then he walked over the dude that was on it, and he was like, yo, Kurtz, can we take a picture with you?
Yeah, he's doing selfie shit.
Yeah. Well, you know, breaking news, Mike. You know, Dan Snyder has actually refunded those 8 people that fell and invited them to next year's Eagles-Washington matchup.
Oh, really?
Oh, wow.
Yep, fact. And they all get free beer.
I just
tweeted that out. Everybody bought it. I knew we were believing it.
Listen, I don't stick up for Schneider. You know as well. I love my team.
Listen, Dan Snyder's in such hot water that he's trying to recruit Eagles fans to come down to FedEx Stadium because nobody ever goes there. That's why the damn thing's falling apart. And it was a publicity.
I want to go to Giant Stadium and get a medium Coke.
Nobody wants to go there anymore. All right, guys.
This Sunday, are we going for the Washington Giant game and get some free medium Cokes? Imagine they tell you like, no, we give it to the first 40 people and nobody else.
Yeah, nobody else. I hate that shit. The first 18,000 people get a fucking
what about
free medium Coke.
Oh, yo, Jules, this is funny. I love Trader. One day he got Yankee tickets for us to go, and he's like, "Yo, man, don't be a fucking dick and get fucking ready early because I'm getting my fucking bobblehead, my Don Manley bobblehead."
No, it was Aaron Judge bobblehead night and Return of the Jedi.
After, though, I got to admit, I was sought after.
He was like, yo, and I think he pushed out a little kid to get. He's like, yo, man, I'm on this line. I'm like,
I didn't push no
fine.
kid. He was like, he was bigger than me, and he was like probably the same age.
He was a big 15-year-old kid.
He actually asked the guy, he's like, yo, can I get 2 Aaron Judge?
All right.
I love Trainer, man. Things that he'll do. Like, yo, man, it's crazy. It's crazy. You're funny.
I'm undercover hilarious blog. I got funny stories too. I know. A lot of people just don't know about them.
Things that you like.
That's why they got to
about.
tune
It's
into the Mix It
hilarious.
Up and the BBOMYG.
Now they do. Now they fucking do.
What you do have hilarious things that you do, like things that Trainer cares about. You'd be like, it'd be like if you were like, what was that movie with Rock with Jumanji, and you had a character in the fucking thing. Trainer's characteristics would be like bobblehead, this, like giant. Like, yo, it'd be like, what the fuck is this guy doing? You know, I love GG's. GG should give you free shit. Honestly, next time I talk to that pizzeria, Trainer is definitely the #1 customer. I don't know. It's GG's every fucking day.
They know everything about me. They know everything about my life and shit. Like, yeah.
Mike, you want to do a quick plug? You got to do a quick plug for Gigi's Pizza. On what is it? Is it Executive Boulevard? I guess is the address.
Gigi's is on Odell Avenue in Yonkers, across from the
Shout it out.
supermarket, across from the gas station. But they got the best fucking pizza, man, in Yonkers, man.
You
No
shout
doubt.
That's open for debate. That's open for debate. But we'll give it to you right now.
We gotta try it. You gotta fucking try it, man. Then
Remember
you never know.
remember we ordered up that Sunday one time like 20 beef patty cheese, and the guy was like, "Are you fucking with me?"
yeah. He's like, "Is this real?" No, like we
Yo.
want 20 of them.
We ate so many. I was like, "We're gonna literally shit ourselves," and we did, because that was, you just don't eat beef patty with cheese that many.
It stunk so fucking bad for weeks.
Oh,
Weeks.
we never did that again. That was our drinking days. That was our bad drinking days. Where it's like, the worst was, I remember drinking
Good
that
times.
case of 40s with you, and I got a headache, man, because we drank and like dumb. Yo, we were like made a bet. What was it, like 840s we had to do in the whole day of football?
No, it
And
was
we were
12.
like-
It was 12 in a case. We had to drink 6 each. I'm never
Oh,
doing
6
that
each?
again.
Yo, we got through 4 like it was nothing. That me and Trainer were like looking at each other like, yo, you want to up it, do some shots of Jameson? Yeah, why not? I want to be obliterated. But, you know, dude, the
You had to
last
sleep over.
two,
You crashed on my couch that time, right?
I couldn't
and
move.
And you wonder why the camp story from earlier in the night was not being able to be like presented properly to the listeners, huh? You just wonder, right? You just wonder about that kind of
We
stuff.
had some fun time. We still do. We're a fun crew to hang out with. I don't know if you want it. People will be like, yo, I like these guys. You know? You know?
Yeah, but not,
It's like-
not
it's like
assholes.
if you get 100 people to like and subscribe, and you can prove that you had 100 people sign up, you get to hang out with the podcast for one night,
Right.
Oh, yeah.
and
I'd
we'll bring
like
Mike Lazic along.
He'll
Can
come.
we
He'll
name
come.
things that we want to sponsor us? Can we, you know, like I wore Aquavelva tonight. I would like some Aquavelva, bro. It's like a manly thing for the week for me.
That's nuts.
That's what I like. Like hood. Yo, the funny thing is, your hood eggnog. I used to drink that shit as a kid. That shit is not bad, bro.
Yeah, Jules, we drank hood eggnog on our last couple episodes during the
Yo,
Christmas fucking
I would've
holiday
done
special.
that.
We combined it with black cherry seltzer from
I
Bud
would have
Light.
done that. I would've
Fucking
done that.
delicious, man. I was pretty fucked up. Nick got fucked up.
So
I
like
got picked up.
when you're referencing this hood eggnog, it's like homemade eggnog.
No, it's
No?
like from the ship from the supermarket.
Oh,
not,
from
not
Hood.
hood,
Right,
not
from
hood,
Hood.
hood.
Got
Like,
it.
you know,
Hood the brand. All
Hood
right,
the
I understand.
brand.
I'm on
I'll
the same
say-
page again. All right.
I'll say
And
this.
then you mixed it with what specifically?
Bud Light, black cherry seltzer.
Just
Don't
the
do that.
seltzer with the eggnog.
Yeah,
No other
fucking-
kind of like ingredients. No
That was it,
vodka,
man.
No rum.
no,
Alright.
that was
Trainer
it.
always does
Came out good.
Alright.
Shit. Remember that dumb shit you gave us one day? That fucking little energy thing? It fucked us up the whole day. That shocking energy. We all took a shot of it. I was like, dude,
Oh,
It
the
was-
little bottles?
yeah, you always got
Yeah.
some weird shit from your company. And I'm
That
like,
was
dude,
way too much caffeine for you, motherfucker.
hell yeah. Fuck, he
So-
saw Nick. He's like, he's going to try to suck his own dick. No, he did. Guys, I'm joking. All right?
I don't think anybody can. You got to be some kind of flexible fucking gymnast to be able to suck your
Somebody
own
like
dick. And
that
would you
kind of-
do
I
that?
mean, I
If you're
thought-
capable, would you even do that? No.
I'm
I
pretty
think
sure
somebody
there's a
like
movie
Nick-
that they actually proved it could be done. I don't think there was
Really?
any kind of like,
Nah,
some crazed out movie from like the early 2000s, I think, called Short Bus or some shit like that, where like the guy supposedly pulls it off. I don't know. I didn't watch the whole thing.
it
I just
probably
heard the
is
wives'
somebody
tale.
out
I think it was like on Howard Stern, where I heard them talking about that shit like 20 years ago. But Short Bus, I think, is it where they prove that it can be done.
I think it's like
Wow.
somebody that's like really, really skinny because they could bend that much and they fucking got to have a big dick. Like you would say Chinese people, but then you wouldn't say because they don't really know from what we hear. You're like, you got Asian dick? Oh, shit.
And they're small, so you got to keep going further.
Hell yeah. Oh, I love you Asians, but you know what? That's for that giving us that corona. Who gave us the Amari? The Africans? I love how we blame people. Like, yo, and if people get crazy, like, we got to get, you know what they did to us? Like, calm the fuck down.
Yeah, people need to. We're not going to go down that fucking road, Belarsi, because that's
No,
leading
I
us into fucking trouble.
No, I
But,
don't want people to think that, like, you know, I'm sitting around like, get that Chinese guy, get him.
that's insane. People just attacking Asian people just randomly for
That is
a
insane.
virus that
That's
came
like,
over.
dude,
It's just fucking insane. I think I mentioned that on Twitter. Like, it's just that's for maniacs. Maniacs do that kind of shit. But speaking of sucking your own dick or not getting your dick sucked, in the news, I don't know if you guys watching Practical Jokers. Have you guys watching Practical Jokers? And you know who Joe Gatto is?
Oh, those guys are funny.
So you know Joe Gatto, right? And then Joe Gatto, he's splitting with his wife. So his wife's not going to be able to suck his dick anymore. And his wife has been on the show. She's really fucking cute. So I'm thinking that no word has come out, but I'm thinking like, I think maybe he probably was on the road. He probably cheated on her and she found out.
You left out one part of that story. He's also leaving the show.
And he's leaving the show.
The leaving the show came out first, and then the second thing to break was that he was divorcing his wife of 20 years, I think. You know what I mean? So yeah, something happened. Something definitely happened, bro. There's no doubt about that.
Cheating, somebody cheating, or she was cheating on him because he was on the road a lot.
On the road all the time, right? Who knows? And he was like, you know what I could be doing right now?
or it could be the worst punishment in Practical Joker's history. If that's the punishment, then
imagine that.
Who knows, man? Who knows?
I watch that show sometimes. They're funny. They're real fun. Like they do some crazy shit.
I watch it. I watch every episode. It's just fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
I don't think
great.
I can do that ballsy stuff. Like that's like really like I think
some of it maybe, but like they get deep at times, and you're just like, oh hell no, you would have got me there.
Yeah, I think I would go to a certain level, and like I don't know if I could do certain things because I might crack up, or the other one I'm like, yo, somebody's gonna really punch me, and then we're gonna get into a fight. So, you know what I mean? Like, because
it's crazy if you go to like the first episode where you hear like in the opening credits and they're like, hey, mustache, that's an actual thing. You remember that one with Q? They were like working like one of these stores out in Staten Island. It was like season 2. And they were like, yo, just keep calling that dude mustache. Yo, the guy was getting pissed. Like, yo, they blurred out his face. Like, he was getting tight. Like,
all you see is the mustache.
Yeah, he was like, all right, how you doing, mustache?
It was all, his face was all blurred. Yo, his entire face was blurred except for the mustache. That shit made it fucking funnier.
Yeah.
I know.
It was like that show, Trey. Who's that dude that became now he started doing movies? Remember you would show me after Sunday football, like, yo, you want to see some show fucked up? And it would be
Eric Andre.
Yo, that show would he start breaking up the shit. You're like, what am I watching?
Yeah, if you never watched the show, it was on like, I don't know, like not Comedy Central, but it was like, Jules, do you know where Eric Andre's show was on? It was like
I forget it.
It lasted like
something maybe.
It lasted like 15 minutes an episode, but it was, you know, he was so funny. He interviewed people. He'd be acting all stupid. I tell you, you get really stoned one night and just like look up all his fucking shows. You'll laugh your fucking balls off, man.
Like, remember that one dude? He definitely got, remember like City, the dude wanted to punch him in the face when he did something.
Oh, yeah.
Like that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know if I would want to go that far with it. Like, I don't really want to get people mad. Like, I would do jokes to stuff and play around, but not to the point where you're like fucking with somebody where the dude's like, because you're going to get into a fight.
Well, you know what it is too?
One of us.
I was going to say, you know what it is too? And one of the reasons why that show was so successful is that they have the type of personality where they can diffuse the situation on the drop of a hat. Like they just got that kind of personality where they know they could read that other person that quick. And they know like when it's gone too far and they know how to diffuse it. And that's sort of how they kind of get away with it. You know what I mean? Where there's a lot, that's a talent right there. You know, that's why this show made the money that it did, because not everybody could do that. You know, it's gonna get to a certain point in time where people just like, no, fuck you, you know, that's it.
That's
and like, I don't care if this was a joke because now I'm really pissed.
That's for
Especially
sure.
that one dude. He would do it in New York City, and it's like, yo, man, you're crazy. Like, there's a lot of wackos down there. You know what I mean? Like, dude, I've dealt with it where you're like, dude, I can tell stories. I didn't even fuck with people. I'm like, God damn, I'm fighting a bunch of bums over Dunkin' Donuts. Like, you know? Like, what the hell happened here?
Sure.
You know what I mean? They're like, yo, they want to kill me. I'm like, yo, this is crazy.
Yeah,
This guy was actually messing with him.
people are crazy. A quick another topic. We're not going to discuss any more of the vaccines. We'll bring it up next week on the podcast when Nick is back. Some of the topics that we did miss
If
today.
he's
But
back, we hope
he's-
you get well, Nick.
he's coming back from the sniffles, man. He'll be all right. But I want to
It's
bring
his fucking cat.
a nice last topic that I just found like really hysterical. I guess this person, she's a female from the 90-Day Fiance star. Basically she retired from the show off a heart attack scare, but she retired from selling farts. She used to fart in a jar and mail them to some fucking creeps, and these fucking creeps would pay for this shit. So she'd fart in a jar and send the jars to these fucking sick dudes, and I guess the dudes get the jar and they just whiff it. Like, I don't know what the fuck.
I
Like,
mean,
this
so
is
I've
true.
heard-
How do
I
these
know
bitches
girls
make
are
money,
hot, but that's
man?
going too far.
Yo, first of all, I from what I heard, it was supposed to be like somehow they chemically made the scent of her fart or some shit like that, and that's how they were able to package it and send it out. And like, I did hear about this.
Why do
crazy
you guys know
I
this?
couldn't believe
What
it.
the
bro.
fuck
Like,
are you reading?
I'll fart a beer bottle right now. I'll sell that
Google.
shit for 50 cents. No problem.
That's not
Who
the
did
first
this?
time I heard about it. There's other women that just fucking
Yeah.
fucking fart in a jar and they fucking mail it out to these fucking creeps. It's crazy.
You're like,
Who says these things?
that's a good one. That's a good one right there. I think that's from 2021 right there. I'm not gonna lie.
What do they whiff it and start jerking off at the same time? Like, I don't
Oh,
understand.
It's got to be some.
Yo,
fucking
you're sick
crazy
in the
ass
head.
fetish.
Like,
It
listen.
has to be.
Yeah.
Everybody got a little bit of freakness in them, but like that, like when you start going on that level, like girls are hot, but come on, it's like, dude, it's a
Like,
fart.
Yeah, I'm
Nobody-
pretty sure that's that 2019 fart right there. That's a good.
God, I don't care how hot a girl and you're attracted to her, you're not gonna be like, hey, babe, I'm gonna put my face in your head and just fart away.
What
It smells like roses. No, it doesn't smell like roses. It smells like ass, like everybody else's ass. It's just because she's hot. It's not gonna. If it does, then she's the girl of everybody's dreams. She farted and it smelled like roses. It really did. She,
What if-
you know,
What about the dudes that have them like have these bitches like shit on them, like OBJ? Like
sick
he had
too.
these fucking bitches shit on his chest. Like, it's weird.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
dude, who makes you
is-
want to go shit on me? Shit on me. Like, how bad is your life? For real. Like, dude, you deserve it.
Try
too.
it
Like,
right there.
yo,
Mike. Don't knock it till you try it.
nah,
Yeah,
I'm
right.
good. I'm good, man. Like,
Right?
yo.
Yo, you'll find yourself a closet shitter on her. All right.
listen, I like girls' feet. Everybody knows that. It's cute feet and stuff. And people could think I'm a little weird with that. That's fine with me. I said, yeah, that's my thing. But when you start talking about crazy, like even like, oh man, you have like the fucking porn that's out there. Like, you ever see a horse fuck a girl? No, motherfucker. No.
Well,
Why
listen,
would I? Like,
golden
what is,
showers is like a big thing, right?
yeah, or you get shit. Like, you ever have a girl shit on you? Yo, dude, we worked with one dude. I'm not even joking. My brother, he wouldn't talk about that. He was like, he liked to get pissed on. And we were like, dude, we sat there like in
They call
shock.
that golden shower.
The
Right.
15-minute, well, yeah, according to, that's good. But fucking, I'm sitting there with him. Yo, we're sitting there like 20 minutes, 6 guys on a construction job, just looking at him like, is this fucking guy for real? And I'm like, everyone's like, yo, he's for real. I'm like, what a sick fuck. He's like, dude, it's so hot. No, it's not. That's disgusting.
Well, it was
dude.
actually it must be kind of warm, so it is kind of technically hot.
Get the fuck out of here, dude.
Probably
Like,
steaming. They call it a hot steamer, so it's definitely steaming.
Must be.
Yeah. Imagine, dude, think about the girl that does it. You're like, imagine she's like, I want
I am.
to shit on you. I'm like, yo, this shit is over right now. This relationship is over. Like, you,
This
like,
conversation is
and I
slowly
would get it if some girl, like, imagine you like, hey, babe, come over tonight. Yeah, bring some stuff. I'm gonna shit on you. Like, you know what I mean? You're like,
It would-
dude,
it would-
she's like, what are you, nuts?
It would suck if that conversation came like 2 years after the relationship started, all of a sudden you'll be like, what? I'm going to marry you. You want to shit on me?
Yeah. Oh, that would
You're
suck.
fucking
You love the girl.
terrified.
Like, I love you. You want to shit on me?
What's wrong with
You've
you?
been shitting on me,
It's
literally.
so hot.
Then I'll be like, who else you been shitting on?
Yeah, because I ain't the first shitter. I know that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, dude, dude, that's why like guys I love whenever they get with a girl that actually was with some other dude and you fuck her and you're like, oh, she's my girl now. I'm like, you don't think that she's gonna do that to you? That's how you got with her. Like, you know? Like, it's not normal. Like, dude, listen, that's why I say there's always somebody for everybody. Like, yo, let these two shitters get together and shit on each other all day long. I want a girl that's a little freaky, but like, and fun. And like, that's why but not that shit. She'd be like, that'd be hilarious on a ride home drinking after a nice dinner with your girl. She's like, babe, when we get home, after I ate that fucking food, I'm going to take such a crap on you. Like, oh God, I can't wait. We're going to run the red lights tonight, baby.
I'm like, what you have Italian tonight?
Oh,
I can
yeah.
smell it.
I love when my baby has fucking, oh my God, when she has Chinese food, that shit just oozes out. Like, what?
Don't give her too much cheese.
Oh, baby, we're going to go to Carmel.
The extra cheese.
We're going to go to Carmel.
You shit more than ice cream. You just got to go to the bathroom. You know what? Go drinking and eat ice cream. You're definitely going to shit.
Well, I think we're going to leave on that note.
One last thing before we go. One last thing. I remember, and listen, girls, I know this just proves to you because girls are farting now and things and selling it. But back in the day, I used to date a girl. She's like, no, we don't fart. You're lying fucking ass. Because
No,
I
they're
let me tell
selling
you
them
something.
now online and shit. What are you talking about?
Girls lie. Like, dude,
novelty.
Because there's no way you cannot eat chili or any of those crappy foods where you're like, you're going to fart tonight, boo-boo. You're going to let one go.
When I was a kid, true story, when I was like, I don't know, I think I was like 5, I used to think like, since, you know, girls didn't have a penis, I thought they piss out their ass. I always thought women just pissed out their ass for like, I think I was like 16 when I found out. I'm like, holy shit.
35?
Yeah, no, a couple years ago.
Dude, I ain't gonna lie, when we were little, and I remember my brother like this girl like this, and we went in the woods like with some girl that he knew, and I was even younger because I was just like, what the fuck's going on? And I followed my older brother, and we fucking this, and she showed us her thing, and I was like, oh my God, who
I
cut
saw you.
you?
Have you shown me yours?
What happened there? Who sliced you? You know, because you're like, you don't got one of these toys?
Yeah.
Now you can, because there's transgenders. You can do it. You can have a pussy and a dick.
Boy, someone's gonna have a hell of a job editing this one tonight.
There's gonna be a lot of fucking bleeps, man. Let me tell
There's
you.
gonna be a
Oh,
lot
you gotta bleep this
of
stuff
horn
out?
sounds
Oh.
and
Nah,
things going up and missing pieces of the podcast.
I ain't
You know,
bleeping
there's gonna
this
be
shit out.
that one day. There's gonna be that because every generation's got to have something new. There's gonna be a dude or a girl out there that's like, look at this. I got a cock and a penis and a pussy. What? That's crazy. What are you called now? What is your nickname?
And it'd be the perfect match for the 2-dick fucking guy off
Yeah,
of the,
what would
the
they
COVID.
name that? What would you name a girl or a guy that has a pussy and a dick? What would it be? It wouldn't be a trainee. It'd be something else.
Aren't they
What
called
would it be?
hermaphrodites or some shit? I'm sure you can find
There's
them
a
online.
fucking name? There's
Dude,
a
you could
fucking
just
name?
yeah, you could just go on, like you could Google it, Malarzik, like we've been saying all night. Just you could Google whatever the fuck you want.
Google.
There's
That's
some
yo.
strange shit out there. If you want to get shit on tonight, Malarzik, there's somebody you could pay to fucking make that happen.
They'll be at your house in an hour.
And hopefully it's a woman. Like that would be my hope. If I'm gonna get shit on, I want it to be a
45 minutes
woman.
without traffic.
Yeah,
Oh.
you can't get shit on like somewhere else, right? You can't go somewhere to get shitted on. Like that's just that's not fair.
Timing
Nick
is
really
everything
doesn't
too
have
with
the
that.
Corona. He's getting shitted on by his girl.
But you got to schedule an appointment. It's like, oh, I'm going to eat at 3, so usually I should between 4:30 and 5:30. So can you make it that? You know what I mean? Like it's just way too much fucking.
Joe, I think honestly the internet has been good things, but I really think that they need to shut it down. Maybe shut that down because honestly, there's a lot of stuff that's like I worry about my little nephew and stuff and myself. Like we used to not know anything. We used to think like, oh, you knew things only within your area. Like, you know what I mean? But now you're like, oh my God, this is, and like some dudes are actually into this shit. You're like, dude, you know, like you just don't, who would ever think Like, if somebody shitted on somebody in Iowa, we would fucking know. Like, you know, and now you can do it.
It's a crazy world out there.
Click one button on the fucking Mix It Up sign, and you can get shitted on.
Yeah, click the link. We're gonna have a link for if you guys want to get shit on any listeners, we can make that happen. Just click on the link on the Mix It Up podcast.
Or if your profession is shitting on people, drop us a DM so we can hook you up.
We'll interview you. Come on the pod.
Please click on the fund to Eugene. We're trying to get a fund together to get him back from DR.
I'm sorry, Wilson.
We're gonna rescue you, Eugene. All right, guys. We gotta go, but listen. If you follow us on the Mix It Up podcast on Twitter, check out the website. Check out our Twitter feeds. You can see the website we have going on. You can check out some old skits we did, some old podcasts, and subscribe, get some t-shirts, go on the site, grab some t-shirts. But until next week, man, we'll see you guys on another time. Well, once again, Jules Malarczyk, thanks for coming on, and have a great week. Peace.
Thank you.